Okay, this piece of paper I put on here so that I could draw this and you can see it. I did it earlier to build the angles for these. This would be like the top and this would be the bottom where it's wider. So what I did to get that is I needed 13 inches down here for this piece here. We'll go like this. So I made a mark at 3 inches, which is the width of these. And then you'll center that like that. And real quick, I'll just stick this one in there. So this is what we're trying to do, is hit that. So I'll have a wheel down here, a wheel up here, and then there'll be another one of these up here to hold that together. There'll be a shelf here and a shelf up here with the bender setting on that. So that's why I did this, is so you could center this. What you end up with. So I'm actually, like I said, 37 inches, supposed to be 36. So we need to cut off 33. I marked that with the tape. I just ran it on the paper because it's a more accurate way to do it than it's exactly 1 inch and then 1/16 too long. So to adjust that, being it's long, which is good because otherwise you'd have to add to the legs. So now all I have to do is match these up. I welded them and made them flat so they look good. So when we weld them together, we don't have to do anything to these. We can paint them. So now what I'm trying to do is match the bends, because when as you weld them, they spring back. And so I guess they're just not going to be all the same. Problem is trying to figure out where this point is on all of them. All these have lines on them. Now I can just stick them in there. It's all set up. It's not a big deal. It's basically getting the thing behind it to hold it up is the hardest part. Okay, what I did is, the thing was kind of sprung together, so you had to put this brace across it. So when I've got it clamped to some angle iron down here to keep it in line with the face and the front. I welded this one just to kind of stabilize it. Spread this out to 23 inches, which made it plumb up and down on both sides, so it's 5.5 inches like our block was on our spacers from here to here when we put that block in when we were welding it. So this is perfectly in plumb with that. So now this is 5.5 inches out, we're plumb with this now. So that's how much of a span we've got. Then the wheels will set up here on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and tack this one in. I checked it for plumb up and down this way, and then I checked it for square on this, and this one here, nope, it's still square. A lot of times they'll pull when you weld them, so the more you can try to keep it together. I push this one here, so it's got to keep everything parallel when you do a weird angle like this. But so right there, this one's straight this way, this one's straight this way, and they're straight up and down on both sides. But when I undo this, I'm sure they're going to spring back. But then we'll redo that on the part that the wheels fasten onto that go from front to back, the same as this is. The drawers will slide in and out here. Not going to hit any of this stuff because they hang down a little bit because they're too deep for the 1 inch that I left on top to fasten the top to. So that's kind of where we're at on that. I'm going to go ahead and tack these together and flip it around, and maybe I'll show you more of that whole thing. a lot flatter than it sets on the table flat. So this is where the wheels go, is on these. But see, being I can flip it over after we get done with this, I'm going to put some mounting points up here for the bender to fit on. And I'll put the wheels on, but I don't have to do it now because I can flip it over and do it. If we plated it, then you'd have to do all that before. But by doing this up, you can just set it up here on these. Like that. Get this one. And I should make sure they're both the same length. They should be. Okay, these are the mounting plates for the wheels, and they're both the same length. So right now I'll build the pieces to go from here across to there, and then we're getting pretty close because we'll flip it upside down, put the wheels on this. We got to prep it all so it's ready to paint before we probably do a lot of other stuff, but I'll go ahead and get these pieces built and show you that. Okay, I built the spreaders for in between here and here. This one's centered. This one's a 1/4 inch back, same as these are here, same as they are here, 1/4 inch back. But we're at a square by 1/4 inch from diagonally. So what I'm going to do to fix that is I'm going to clamp this one down so it doesn't move around. So we'll do that real quick. Okay, so to figure that out, I came off the corner there and going to the corner over, well actually out to here just because it's easier to measure. It's 40 and 3/4. I do the same on this side. It's 40 and a half. So just by clamping it down did something to it, I guess. So now all they need to do is move it 1/8 of an inch this way. 40 and 3/4, 40 and a half, so 1/8 of an inch that way. It's a little bit stronger here because there's two pieces in the middle coming together there, that round. So it gives you a little bit less chance of burning through it. So we'll try it going this way. So that pretty much gives you a really good weld because it's burning through the whole thing. And we're still over there. That piece is up, so we can do the same over here. What it looks like, welded around the edges, up and down, Same with this one. Same, and then I'll flip it around to do that one. And then I'll probably do these welds up here, those four. So, okay, this thing's upside down, sitting on the top. So what I did is I put the first wheel in, come up so it's even with the back here, so it's not running into the wall any quicker than the rest. I'm going to use self-tapping screws. If it doesn't work, I can later tap it and use bolts. So these screws have got a self-tapping part on that. And if you're going plate to plate or metal to metal, you want to keep your thickness of your metal underneath the drill part of this. Otherwise it starts to grab and push it in there, and a lot of times they'll break off. So this is, being I'm just screwing into the layer under it because the wheels already have their holes in them. It doesn't make a whole bunch of difference on the depth of it so much because this stuff's so thin. Okay, what we're doing today is we're going to put a bar across, or a piece of angle iron across this to set the wheels on. They're going to fit like this. This is the biggest one, so it's going to fit like this, but on a rack that goes back and forth from front to back. Okay, I just kind of put slides so this can't slide apart. And so the die, the little one won't fall through. And the big one, I haven't tried it. Okay, the big one's up there. I'm going to make sure that then we can pull them out this way. It just barely clears the shelf. See how the die is loose right here? I don't really like that because it's just sitting on that point. Same over here. This is in 1/8 inch by 1.5 by 2. This is 1.5 by 1.5. Same thing. So I don't know if you could see what I was doing or not. This is the 1.5 by 2. Now if you come over here, you can see that die looks pretty nice sitting in that because it's hitting a long ways right there, but a little bit that way. So it needs to tilt up or something. Both sides probably would keep them square. So if I angle this side back up to that, make it a V shape rather than a square here with the, let me see where I'm at. Square, this piece here square with the from here to here and here to here, where those are way off square in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try pushing this to the middle, centering them in the middle part of the deal. I was trying to make them so that they weren't sticking out past the front of this here in case I decide to put a door or something on it so that it doesn't get trashed. So if you look at this one lined up with the one in the back, the wheel actually is behind it, is inside of it. When it was straight, it was inside of it, but it looks like the farther we go that way, this one sticks out farther than this one now. Okay, I flipped it over. I cut the angles. I actually reversed the angles so the wider flange was hitting the rollers because it made the rollers hit it more evenly. got this all welded up there. Can't remember where I'm at. So now I'm putting these on there so I can weld some pieces to keep them from tipping over. Something like this. So I'm afraid if I weld on these angles that I put to hold this up, that it'll warp this part here, so they won't be straight. And plus then if I do these, see this thing will set up, this is the 2-inch one, so it's going to set way up here. And then I'm going to have the bracket like this welded onto these. Like that. To keep these from tipping over. They'll be on this side, but you can't see this side, so that's kind of how they'll go. And then I've got one for each one of these things. I just took 3/8 rod, laid a piece of stuff like this on it, got the angles, and just followed this like right here, and then I'll just push it up on this side. So it'll give me a reference point to get it. I could get these two angles figured out, and then I can weld it onto these pieces of strap I'm putting up there now. Okay, knock the camera over. So that's the first one. So what it does is keeps that thing from rocking so much. Okay, I got those so they're straight. How you bend this stuff is to get it so that the bends are a little bit, so you keep both ends, so you can keep this straight here. You stick that in the vise and then you push that in there and then bend it off the vise, so this stays straight. You stick that in there and pull it. Now what I'm trying to do is make this come up and back down like this one here. Let's turn the camera on. I'm using this to level it. I just bent that one the same so it go underneath that because it was hitting it. So you use something to get the same so they look like they're flat. Now I'm cutting off what's left overhanging off the edge, which the reason for that is so these are pretty much the same each time. Okay, so that's all tacked together. So this is how they work. Okay, so this is how it looks. It's pretty good, huh? Screw all these down. And the first one I messed up because I thought I was going to use 3/8 because I started out with a bolt. and then had to grind the head off of it some so it'd fit down in that pipe, and I'm going like, dang, that's going to be a lot of work. So then I went looking for these cap screws that would fit in the pipe or in the pecs. So all I'm going to do is just screw all these down. They're kind of dirty. Before I mount it on the cart. Okay, I've got two that ended up being 3/8, so the heads are way bigger on them in the first two holes because I had already started doing that. Originally we started out with a piece of 1/2 inch all thread and screwing it down in there, but it flared it out and too wide. So I would have had to grind all of the threads off of part of it to get it to work. So that's why I ended up with 3/8, because the 1/2 inch didn't work. Because you could have used just the 1/2 inch probably in these holes, but I think they're 7/16. But see how that would just scratch the crap out of the inside of that, where this fits in pretty tight. Ended up had to sand all of the pecs off to get it to fit in there, but that's how I was originally going to do it. Then I went to the 3/8 bolts because I had 30 of these to do. I didn't want to spend a huge amount of time. And then you so these ears right here, I screwed this plate to these so they were in the right spot. So these ears here, here, and here, because I wanted it to match this angle right here, so it would look like it's like I intended it, like I thought about it a little bit. Instead of just, I could have came off of here and went down to there, but it was a weird angle because of the way these legs are bent. So that's the reason why I did that. You wouldn't have to do any of that, but it just, in the end, how it looks is important to me. Okay, so those screws are flush down in there and up there and up there. So look at the spacing around it is straight, and then when you look at this, it's straight with the leg, pretty much. So when you get done, it looks, this is mill finish. See that? And then this is what it does when you sand it. It just makes it so it's, get where the light's showing on them. Just makes them look good. And then I usually don't screw these in either all the way. So you can adjust stuff so the holes all line up. Okay, so the door looks like that. I'll walk around. I've got a pole so you can pull underneath. It fits pretty straight. Try to line it up. It looks good. It's all how stuff looks when in the end. Okay, so that part's okay. We got the bender on there, so we made these holes and we're already set up so that these washers hold it down. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's all put together. Looks pretty cool. Let me give you some better stuff. So there's the rack that holds all this stuff on. I got the 1.5 inch dies are in it. And this is kind of where the drawers were, so you can put all the stuff that you need with it in there, and they're always with it. And then got the cylinder in. You have to kind of put it in through the front. You have to take all the stuff off to get it to go in there. But then we got the big door for whatever. We don't have anything in there yet, hardly. I'm not sure exactly what we need, but there's what the dies. How that works is this pulls the pipe over that and under that and there, and as it rotates it pulls this up over the top of the die, so it goes up, so the pipe bends, comes through the machine, over that die, under that die, and through there. So as it turns up, it pulls that die or the pipe around it. So there you go. I think I'm pretty much done with this rack now, so I can get on to maybe some more stuff, something else.
Hey everybody, just wanted to say thank you for watching this video. Nick did a great job building this bender and this cart. It's been done for a while. I've got a ton of film and other stuff to edit, so there'll be a lot of content. I just need to get a little bit better about doing it. It's a task to sit down and do it. So thank you for watching. Every single time I edit, I'm learning new stuff in doing this, so it's getting a little bit better. I'm not pleased with it, so I'm gonna make it get better. But thanks again. Like and subscribe, and we'll get some more content out to you. Thanks, guys.